Space Center. I learned how to play baseball in space. An astronaut throws the ball in the air and it floats. Second, he hits the ball with a bat. Third, next he chases the ball and then catches it. Some people want to know how to sleep in space. I'll tell you now. Space doesn't have gravity, so if the sleeping bag goes upside down, it will be dangerous. So it's attached to the wall. Just crawl inside the sleeping bag and enjoy your sleep in space. Now I'll talk about parachute I saw at Science World. You guys saw parachute in movie, right? I'll introduce that first. When someone jumps out of an airplane, if they don't have parachute, they'll crash to the ground. So pull the rope on the parachute and it opens, and it will slow down. I enjoyed the parachute at Science World because it was interesting. Thank you.
I went to Science World and Space Center. Both places was awesome and made us stay wow. First, I will tell you about Science World. The most interesting thing in Science World was the place is Plasma. The sensitive light comes after any air we touch the glass bulb. The thin light was called the laser. Next, I will tell you about the game called Tower of Hanoi. We played the game called Tower of Hanoi. We have to move the rings into 3 sticks and make it in order by size. But the small ring can't be under the bigger ring. It was hard and frustrating. I think the name Tower of Hanoi is called because it is annoying. Second, I will tell you about Space Center. The biggest difference from Earth and outer space is gravity. So when we go to outer space, our body, fluids, liquid, and stuff will float in the air. We also need special clothes and shoes to go to outer space. There are lots of interesting things about outer space, but today I will tell you about 5 interesting things about outer space. First, we need to sleep in a container which helps us not falling from the container while we are sleeping. Second, we need to exercise a lot because our muscles get weak. Third, we need to use special water bubbles for a shower. Fourth, food needs to be in a package. And last, we need $3 million to go to outer space. I wasn't interested in science and space before I visited Science World and Space Center. I thought it was wasting my time. However, it was an extremely fascinating experience to me. My favorite was the exercising food in space. It was hilarious. I like Space Center more than Science World because I learned lots of things that I didn't know before. Thank you.
Today, I'll introduce about Space Center and Science World. First, I'll tell you about Space Center. First, I'll tell you astronauts' life on the space shuttle. Astronauts' space shuttle has very many functions. I'll tell you 3 of them today. First, there are bathrooms. Do you know how astronauts go bathroom in space? They go this kind of bathroom. This bathroom is different from the ordinary bathroom in Earth. I'll tell you the functions of it. First, there is a hose with the vacuum so the pee doesn't fly all over the place. Also, astronauts poop through this hole. And lastly, they have to fasten their seatbelt while pooping because no one wants to fly all over the place while pooping. Second, I'll talk about bed. Do you know how astronauts go to sleep? They sleep in this kind of bed. This bed is attached to the wall, so astronauts have to sleep in stand position. But it's okay because there are no gravity in space. Third, I'll talk about food. Do you know how astronauts eat food in space? They eat this kind of food. There are no oxygen in this food pack because it could explode at the space. Some food must be put in hot water to eat. Next, I'll talk about constellations at the dome screen. The star in the middle is the star that tells you where north is. Also, this star is part of the Great Bear. And you could find this star easily when you find Cassiopeia and Big Dipper constellation. Next, I'll talk about Hercules. This constellation is formed with 48 stars, and this is the shape of men holding deadly weapons. Also, there are many other space solar systems. There are plenty of them. Now I'll talk about Science World. This is fire tornado. A fire tornado happens in the dry tree, and it's very dangerous and hot. This is the experiment of the fire tornado. If the wheel spins faster and faster, the fire tornado gets shorter and shorter. This is plasma ball. Plasma ball is a light bulb lit by the plasma. When we put our hands over the plasma ball, plasma will lit and plasma will follow your hand. It's quite interesting. Finally, I explained about Space Center and Science World. But I prefer Space Center better than Science World because I learned many things that I didn't know at Space Center. But Science World was also amazing. Thank you for listening.